United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call this meeting to order. Do the roll call, please.
Yes. Alder Billier, present. Mayor Smith. Alder Hill.
Present.
Alder King.
Present.
Alder Lancaster.
Present.
Alder Matheson. Alder Wilson.
Present.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a quorum.
Okay. Any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Chairman.
I have a first, I have a second. Alder Billier?
Yes.
Or I can say all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The agenda has been approved.
Has everybody had a chance to look over the consent agenda? Any questions? Get a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
I have a first, I have a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Thank you. The consent agenda has been approved.
Is there any citizen input?
Yeah, my name's Larry Quitman. I live at 508 Pine here in Willard. Just wanted to, first of all, commend everyone that's been involved in the discussions to try and attract some new businesses and grow the tax base of Willard. One type of store that I would kind of like to see added to our wish list would be possibly a big box agriculture store of some type, an Atwood's, Family Center, Baumgart's type store. Something that caters to the ag community, but also has a lot of different departments that would appeal to other citizens. You know, all these stores have lawn and garden departments, clothing, hardware sections, pet food and supplies, things like that, that we really don't have represented real well in any of the businesses that we currently have. So it might be something to look at. Second item that I would like to see possibly considered would be the possibility of, with the midterm elections coming up this fall, putting on the ballot sales tax for cannabis. I know we don't have a dispensary at this time, no plans that I'm aware of, but it's just a matter of time, I think, before someone sees that as an opportunity and looks to bring one to Willard. I think it's just a matter of time, and I think it would be in fairness to someone that did want to do that, to know up front that, you know, that's on the books. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Anybody else? Move on to the next one. Steve?
Well, we're off to a good start on the 94 lift station upgrade enforcement replacement. We had a pre-construction meeting back on January 14th. Young's General Contracting Incorporated is the contractor. They were directed to proceed immediately. And under the terms of the agreement, their work should be completed by October 12th of 2026. The contractor will begin replacing 10-inch pipe, or replacing the 10-inch existing force main, beginning at the north end of Old Willard Road and proceed to the connection point of Springfield. That'll be the first phase. That allow for all that to be tested in one shot before it's put into service. Once that's completed, the contractor will begin force main replacement from the north end of Low Water Road to the 94 lift station along Highway 160. Upgrades to the 94 lift station will proceed concurrently with the force main replacement. The contractor has already received 1,800 feet of 18-inch high-density polyethylene pipe. They've got staged along Old Road Road. The balance of the pipe has been manufactured, so we're not waiting on manufacture of material. With regards to the abatement order on consent with MDNR, submitted a revised abatement order to MDNR on January 16th for their review and potential negotiation, mainly regarding the language in the abatement order on consent. And then our fourth reimbursement request from EPA was approved today. Gene and I got notice of that, and it's roughly for the amount of $51,000. With regards to the Meadows project, again, a pre-construction meeting was held on January 20th. The contractor is J.D. Wallace Contracting LLC. They'll proceed immediately, and their work should be completed by August 1 of 2026. The contractor will begin with the intersection of Farm Road 103 and Farm Road 106 with the installation of gravity main. Now, this is going to involve closing the intersection to traffic. Contractor will coordinate road closures with the city. The city will inform the public to the best ability using social media and other outlets regarding that road closure. I don't state in my written report that this is somewhere around 1 to 2 weeks of time. Then the contractor will proceed west along Farm Road 106 to 101. From that intersection, will proceed north along Farm Road 101 for approximately 400 feet to termination. Wallace has already started receiving pipe and has it stored right now at the Meadows Lagoons, laid out area that him and Trevor have negotiated. So we're off to a good start, materials flowing in. What we need now is weather. We'll have another week or two of this kind of stuff and it'll get better. But it's good they get the stage, they got boys to start work. You can't expect them to work in the snow at all. They're gonna have to watch a little bit for mud, but snow's real hazardous for the work in. And all of the affected landowners will be granted temporary or permanent easements. I've contacted either email, voice, or U.S. Postal Service to advise them of the awarding the contract and the order of work to be performed. And we've already got cooperation between the significant landowner down there on 106 and J.D. Wallace's field superintendent regarding access, temporary fencing, temporary entrances, so on and so forth. So if anybody got a question, I'd be glad to answer it.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Next, discussion on court fees. Who's handling that, Liz? Holly?
We had an audit, they're kind of supposed to do them annually. Our last audit was in 2023. There were some recommendations for clarification of our ordinances, and those will be coming to you guys at the next meeting. We did discover that the building surcharge is for here. And so you have a savings that is able, and Gina is going to look into with Oscar, because it's a multi-use, it's not just a courtroom here. So I'm sure they'll have some percentages, but that would allow your ability to spend those funds. The rest of it is just some tidying up, that we weren't in any violation, but could be if we followed our ordinances, which were wrong. So it's been a long time since it's been clarified, so we're just cleaning that up. So you'll expect to see that next time, and if anybody has questions, give me a holler.
Thank you. Ordinances.
An ordinance of the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with BSNA Software LLC for multiple municipal government software. That's First Street.
And as a note on this one, we solicited some quotes on replacing our software. This quote is the one that we'd selected and is approaching expiry. We kind of put a pause in it as we were going through budget discussions and whatnot. Gina can speak more passionately about the specifics of this one, but one of the key points was this does get us out of this 6.6% convenience fee bracket that we're dealing with. So I'm sure the public will be generally supportive of something that reduces that cost.
It expires tomorrow. The cost, we pay $68,000 up front. When the subscription starts or when we go live, then we make our second payment, and the third payment's made at the end of the training, so they know how much training we use. So it's gonna take at least 9 months for them to build this out. So we won't have this second payment till the fall or the beginning of the year, wherever it falls, but we have to pay the first payment up front.
And as I recall the discussion, it seemed more likely it would be next year.
Yes, just because we're getting into it late and a lot of people around us are going to that same software. So they have a lot of building they're doing right now. So,
They build it specific to our needs, right?
yes, they take all our information that's in Tyler for the last 5 years, because that's how much you have to keep. And they move that into BSNA and then build around what we do now. But it'll be better. We can run an Excel report, which would be fabulous.
I can't
Not gonna lie,
imagine not
kind of
being able
excited about
to
that.
easily run an Excel report out of a program.
It's horrible.
I just can't fathom that.
Oh, you can run them, but you had to convert them.
What's your payment at 9 months, Gina?
$35,035. And the last payment is a guesstimate because we don't know how much training we will need. It's $50,600.
And we had asked them about, you know, can we do virtual and things like that. They didn't seem to think that would be as good of an option.
But we do have neighboring communities. I've taken our utility supervisor out to Nixa and we actually sat with them. And I left her with the utility department and left her there. And the girls there were so nice and gave her cell phone numbers and said, hey, if you have any questions, call us. So we actually have people around here we can ask before we go through BSNA, if needed.
So the question I promise to ask every time. Was 160,000 in the budget for the current year to do this? Or
It
actually,
was.
The whole amount?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
we budgeted the entire amount?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, just making sure
I
it's
couldn't remember if we
in the
reduced
budget,
that a
we're
little
not.
bit for what we anticipated.
No, we put
We
the
did
whole
budget.
amount in
I
there.
think we did put the whole amount in.
Yeah.
Because we were hoping to have it
Yeah,
go live in September and be done with training at the end of December.
yeah.
So we put the whole amount in for this year. But now we're saying it'll probably be a little bit longer, so we probably won't make that last payment till the beginning of next year. But it is in the budget this year.
At the time of discussion, the only question we really had, not only the whole package, but the amount they had designated to training.
Yeah, that's
Hoping
the
that we
piece
could get
checked up
that
on.
locked.
And they did lower that sum. The first original one was like 196,000, and they have this quote that we did was 154,400. So we took off some programs, we put some on, and this was done in November, which we all went through in November, but
I think we shaved a little off the training as well.
yep,
but it wasn't as
we
much.
shaved a little bit of the packages off, and then we shaved some of the training off.
So in shaving the packages off, are we going to need to add those packages later?
I don't think so, because most of it we got rid of was, well, we picked up planning but they have a lot of, like, streets and stuff that we already do with diamond maps and stuff, and we didn't need. It's always an option if we wanna add it, but they weren't specific to our needs, what we needed.
So at some point, you could get rid of what you pay for diamond maps and
Yes.
go for the being,
Have it an all-in-one.
yeah.
Right. Which Mike's is in civic review right now, but we had him sit through the demo and he loved it, so we would leave civic review and he will go to BSNA when that part goes into. And that'll save us money on his end. Whether he likes it or not.
He's like, wait, how did I get dragged into this?
They had some pretty good stuff in there, because they had checklists and things that you can do for his inspections. It was
I'm glad they're not asking any questions, that's good.
And the payments will go straight through, like right now, he does his in express pay, we do ours in Tyler, and it's a mess. But he wants,
And Parks goes through a different program too, doesn't it?
they go direct us, but we actually take their information and put it in Tyler.
And this will cause, even Parks will go through BSNA.
Not yet.
It won't,
Mhm.
okay.
They don't have, they're looking at building a program right now,
Okay.
but they do not have a parks program.
Okay,
But they have worked with Direct Us before.
okay.
But this will streamline all online payments, so you're not using 3 or 4 different credit processors. We can just use what BSNA is offering.
And it
It's
gets us
critically
to
a
that
lower rate.
3.3%.
What's the fee to the citizens?
3.3,
3.3 instead of 6 point,
6.
so it halves it.
Gets it back to where most people
Back
are
what it
comfortable.
should be, where, you know, what it is standard for
Yeah.
anywhere else you go, it seems like.
And our Tyler, we've had it for 10 years. It's outdated, it's time to go. It's not even cloud-based anymore, but they have a cloud-based, but it's way more expensive than this one, so.
You need a motion for
Make a motion, change the ordinance as read.
Second?
second.
I have a first, I have a second. Alder Villiers,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder Keen,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster,
Yes.
Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson.
Yes.
I make a motion that we go ahead and do a second read tonight.
Second.
And I will tell you procedurally, I checked with our guru in our office, when you have on the agenda first and second read, you've already told people that you're doing it twice. So we agree that it is not necessary to do that motion because it's recognized here. If it only said first,
Oh, okay.
then you would be asking for something different.
We learned
So,
something.
I cut another thing out for you. I am streamlined. You can tell Mary you
So you can disregard my.
That makes sense.
So you just read it.
So then I just.
So she just reads it again and then, yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry, an ordinance of the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with BSNA Software LLC for municipal government software, second read.
I make a motion that we approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
Alder Villiers,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder Keen, Alder Lancaster,
Yes.
Alder Matheson,
Yes.
and Alder Wilson. Thank you, the ordinance has passed.
Thank you. Next one, please.
An ordinance to grant the voluntary petition by the property owner of Bird Real Estate LLC to annex certain property containing 36.19 acres, which is contiguous, compact, and adjacent to the existing city limits of the city of Willard, Greene County, Missouri, and to annex said property to extend the city limits of Willard, Missouri. First and second read.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's okay, I
can share.
Rachel and I can share.
So this is the voluntary annexation by Bird Real Estate LLC that we talked about on Farm Road 76 of 36.19 acres, as petitioned by the landowner. Next slide. And Basically, what the board needs to decide is if this is compact and contiguous to the city limits, and if it's something that the city would be willing to do. The application was filed, and you have the application was filed on the 14th of October, 2025, had a public hearing on December 22nd.
24th of October.
Thank you, 24th of October. Had a public hearing on the December 22nd, 2020. The public hearing was published, on December 22nd, 2025, with the public hearing being held on January 12th, 2026. And we have had at least a 14-day comment period between the public hearing and this meeting. I have received no written objection of 5% of anybody currently, but state law talks about 5% of the population. Next slide, please. This is where the current property is located. It's right along the 160 and Wiley. Next slide. This is our notification. We published in the daily events, and that is a copy of the notification that was published therein. This is a copy of the legal description of the full tract 1. That includes tract 1 and tract 2. You have in your packets on the voluntary annexation packet, you do have documentation showing the full tract 1 and tract 2 of the annexation. Next slide. And this is what the board must decide. Is the property contiguous and compact to the city, meaning does city limits border it, and is it adjacent to the city? This is, if you look at this is a picture and a blow-up of the property itself. The location off Farm Road 76. Next slide. And that's a satellite view of the same property. This is our zoning of the same property, and that is the current property in question. City limits is on the west side of 160, so you can see the blue line.
That's the blue line.
Yeah. So what the annexation would do, it would move it from the west side to the edge, the west side of this property.
So it would effectively, city limits would cruise the highway, go around and.
Back to the highway. Correct. Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll put those roads in the city limits also.
That, yes, it would. Yeah, for that section it will.
So then city maintenance would take over for snow removal, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay.
Same with police protection. They'll have police service and everything on that street also.
Okay.
It'll be all the way around, right?
But not beyond that?
No, no, we will not take over the full road, just the portion that's been annexed.
Okay.
And as discussed before, that this is what the board needs to decide, if it's advisable and needed and feasible to annex, and if it's in the best interest of the city. So that's the presentation. I appreciate Holly putting all these thoughts together. We're gonna bring things up into the, correct century, so you guys can have all the information before you. Are there any questions on this parcel? Concerns?
The hope is we will have more annexations, and so if there are things that you think about, oh, I wish you had a slide on this, we'd like to make that part of our presentation, so we're giving you everything. It's also within your ordinance. It's more than the normal ordinance because it states all of your legal requirements and how you met them.
We need a motion?
We need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance as read.
A second. I have a first, I have a second. Alder Villier,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder King,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster,
Yes.
Alder Matheson? Yes. Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Second.
An ordinance to grant a voluntary petition by the property owner, Bird Real Estate LLC, to annex certain property containing 36.19 acres, which are contiguous, compact, and adjacent to the existing city limits of the city of Willard, Greene County, Missouri, and to annex said property to extend the city limits of Willard, Missouri. Second read.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
I have a first, I have a second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson? Thank you, the ordinance is passed.
Thank you. Next one.
An ordinance accepting the proposal of Decker and Pace, PC, to provide professional audit services for the city of Willard. First and second read.
Gina can talk about this one if you like, but it's pretty simple. We have to be audited. They were the selected auditing company. They did it last year for us. They did a fairly good job. So we recommend picking them for another year.
They are not easy to find,
Mm.
auditors for cities.
We only had 2 bids and this one was still the lowest, it was $3,000 to the next one up, and it was the only 2 bids that came in, so. And since they already know us, and it's just, with me being my first time and I'm already touching base with them, it's kind of easier if we do keep them another year, and then maybe look next year instead, but.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
I have a first, I have a second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
An ordinance accepting the proposal of Decker and Pace, PC, to provide professional audit services for the city of Willard. Second read.
I make a motion to approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
I have a first, I have a second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, the ordinance is passed.
Thank you, Courtney. Okay, Wes, city administrator remarks?
Well, as we move into 2026, we've been thinking about branding, getting a consistent image for our staff and our assets and whatnot, so we'll be working on that this year some. The website's been coming along as part of that effort. We've been consolidating and removing some of those drop downs. There are still old pages out there, which we learned with the snow routes. Thank you, Joyce. We worked last year, Shane and I, on tidying up the snow routes, and then there was a really old dusty page on the website that caused a little confusion. So we're still working on that in earnest. Excuse me. Made it up to Jeff City last week, met with some legislators. The good news is nobody said no or laughed at me, so to me that says it's at least feasible. Ryan said it was a good first step for us. One of the legislators had said, "You didn't need to come up here. We could have just talked about it down there." And Ryan said to him, he interprets that very differently to what I would interpret it. He said to him, he said the way that what that reads is, you came, and that's a good thing. So it says it shows how serious we are that we would make those trips. So now he'll continue some of the conversations. We focus on kind of the economic development angle of an otherwise boring sewer project. They did remind me that the governor stripped a lot of things out last year, which he did tell us when he came. We did meet with the deputy director, I think, of DNR, who's going to look at some things to see if there's anything in there that maybe got missed. But now we're kind of in a waiting game. At some point, it sounded like potentially at short notice, he'll tell me he's going to come up there for about a week to talk and have meetings with people and see where that goes. So we'll keep going with it. I did have a very promising meeting today. Developer potentially may come up with a significant chunk of that money, which will make us even more serious when we talk in Jeff City. So as things are coming together, starting to get a little optimistic, which I know is surprising for everybody because I'm never optimistic, right? But it seems good, it seems like things are going. We've had some discussions today about getting Willow moving and other development commitments. We are really hopeful of a very good bit of news very soon, right? So close, so close. We talked about Trevor and his ChatGPT skills, appreciate that. Did a very nice rendition of what our Meadows water tower will look like later this year. It's pretty sharp. Kind of a gray color to highlight some of the imperfections, and then our nice new Willard on the Right Path logo on there with the Willard flying W in the middle. So should be a nice part of that branding we've been talking about. Other than that, I did want to touch on winter efforts. That's why I invited Trevor to be here. Despite all that weather and despite what we might have seen from inside our windows, their efforts were very strong. I think the new truck, despite some in the field challenges, did well and was helpful. I know the community expects perfection on that, but really out of all the tier 1 roads, the IMS survey said we have 35 miles of roads we're responsible for, of which Trevor calculated about 13.5 to 14 miles is tier 1. So those are emergency access roads, safety roads, high travel, arterial, very important roads. Everybody's going on one of those roads to get somewhere. They focus on those pretty much only those for, what would you say, the majority of the time that you're out there?
Yeah, I mean, probably 3/4 of the time,
Yeah.
what we spend on them.
And then as they start to deteriorate, they swing back and they'll hit them again and swing back and hit them again. So it doesn't always mean, you know, we have a 3-tier system. It doesn't always mean that the 3rd tier is going to see much, if any, love at all. So it's something to keep in mind. Trevor can talk about the logic of the approach, and what we'll do is we'll add a map to our snow route document so people can kind of see it, to understand it versus just read it and think, well, is that my section of Jackson, or is that my section of Lancaster, or whatever it may be. So we'll get that out there. I want to just caution about if we make exceptions for folks who request them, even no matter how good the intentions are, it opens the field to other people expecting the same treatment. So it's important that whatever decisions we make as a city to address our roads addresses the common good primarily and not the private good. Wouldn't that be a fair standard? So that's kind of what we've got covered here. That's why the tier 1s make the most sense. Keeping those clear and safe affects the most people. Some of which are not part of our community, sure, but you know, they're still driving through. We don't want them to crash here either. Trevor, did you want to kind of dig into the nitty-gritty of the system a little bit?
Yeah, so I've just got kind of a quick rundown, kind of what we've got and how we operate on it. We operate on our 3-tier system, like Wes talked about. If we're aware of approaching storms, we'll pre-treat if the temperature allows. If it gets down below 15, salt won't even work. So 20 is really the cutoff. You know, below 20, it just pretty well stops. So we've got 13.65 miles in tier 1, 6.5 miles in tier 2, and 14.85 miles in tier 3. So 57% of Willard roads are classified as tier 1 and 2. For example, City of Springfield only takes care of 40% of their roads. Now I know they're a lot bigger, but we're taking care of 57% on tiers 1 and 2. So whenever we're done with tiers 1 and 2, it takes several days, but we'll go back and we will hit tiers 3. That's what makes us different, is we will hit everything. It's just going to take a while, you know. And then we get the refreeze, you know, the snow and the water, and it makes it take a lot longer. But we do hit it when we can, you know. We don't have the resources to tackle every road simultaneously, you know, so that's kind of going back to that part. It's, you know, we have 3 plow trucks. We had issues with one of them on the Salter. This is the new one, actually. So it's currently in the shop getting the Salter fixed. But, you know, 3 trucks, it sounds like, well, you know, you could hit that pretty quick, but you know, you're hitting it and you're just constantly getting more snow, more ice, so it takes a long time. We keep 50 tons of salt on hand at a time. that's good for about 2 storms. It's about $6,000 worth of salt, so each storm, you know, is roughly $3,000 in salt, you know, just to put a price on it, you know. Another thing to say on here is our plows, they don't apply down pressure, so the weight that we have is just the weight of the plow. And so if we've got a bunch of cars that are driving over all that snow, you get that hard pack on there, I mean, they're not gonna push it off. So we try to hit it as quick as we can, but by the time we hit tier 3 roads, I mean, it's hard packed on there, and our plows are not gonna push it off. So we do what we can with what we have, and we are super appreciative of that new truck. So I don't wanna make it sound like, you know, like, it did a great job, but it's just, you know, we don't have a MoDOT truck that's, you know, a $200,000 truck that will shove it off, so. The efforts this weekend, we had 81.5 hours between 5 different guys outside of normal working hours. I'm not gonna call that overtime because I did try to send a lot of people home, you know, early Thursday, Friday. Hey, we know you're coming in. Do you mind shoving out early or just not coming in on Friday? You know, just to try to cut down on some of that overtime. Probably didn't help out a lot, but you know, I know we're trying to save every little bit. So probably did help some. The last thing I'll just throw in here is Rodney with the schools. I don't know if anybody knows him or not, but he actually called me on Monday and he just said, hey, you know, I've worked here 14 years and I'm just saying that's the best that you guys have ever done, you know, on a snowplow deal. So yeah, that was pretty cool. It's like, oh, thanks, dude. Like, it was gonna be something bad when I saw your name go. He's like, no, man, like you did great. You know, he's like, I just want to let you guys all know, you know, that we greatly appreciate it.
If I can time to that just real quick while the thoughts in my head, but I reached out to the superintendent as far as bus stop concerns, and there was one, and they hit it right away, and he hasn't had any more to report to me, so I think there was comfort there.
Yeah.
The areas the kids are congregating with.
I will tell
taken
you,
care of, so the
buses
buses
went through
go
my
around.
neighborhood faster than the trash trucks.
I know, I saw
The
it.
trash trucks went creeping through, and the buses went through at their normal speed, so
Well, yeah, it's a good deal.
I think the trash trucks were afraid, and the buses knew the roads were good. So,
That's good. So I mean, if anybody has any questions, you know, I'll try to answer them, you know, best I can, but if anybody's.
So we'll just arm you with information about how it works.
Yeah.
Since questions may come in, I'm sure we'll have another one before when the season's out, so.
well, I didn't leave my house until Monday, because I didn't have a need to, but when I left on Monday, I was really impressed with Jackson, and I just ran to Apple Market, because I was out of milk, you know. But leaving my house to get to Apple Market, I didn't have any problems, and that was Monday, when, you know, by that point, everything was solid.
Yeah.
And there were no issues at all.
Yeah, and the tiers are set up to where, you know, we're hitting grocery stores, gas stations, hospitals, you know, fast food. We try to hit those main drags, you know, to get everybody out of town, you know,
Yeah.
so. That's kind of how they're set up. Tier 2s, just to give you an idea, are into and out of neighborhoods. So like Arrowhead, stuff like that, you know, those are tier 2 roads, so.
Well, I didn't have any problems allowing my 16-year-old to drive.
Oh, yeah, that's
So-
a really good deal.
So
Like space.
something I
Snow
didn't,
shouldn't affect that.
something I didn't think of, because I did have a citizen that had reached out to me, and this didn't cross my mind until what Wes just said, and I'll say I hope the answer is yes, but, did the snow routes potentially change after the survey on what our tiers might be, or was that just maybe not developed prior to, because this person said that their cul-de-sac dead-end road was plowed in the past, which, I mean, mine is in a neighborhood, and in the past it wasn't that great, I'm just saying. And we again had no issues, but.
All I can speak for is the original list. When I spoke with Shane last year about just kind of shoring it up to get it out to the public, I didn't realize there was a list on the website. So that list we created was based on his operational understanding in that moment, and that's still, talking with Trevor just a couple of days ago about it, it remains the same. So it's possible that it was a fluke that got it done, or they'd already done the other streets and then they were moving into the neighborhoods, as Trevor had said, to finish clear out. It doesn't sound like it would have been normal.
Yeah, we wouldn't have ever had unless there was like a hospital, you know, say something crazy at the end of a cul-de-sac, we would never have I would classify as a tier 3 as a tier 1 or 2. That would just kind of be a waste of time or resources, you know, for 10 houses, say, to get out, you know, onto the street.
So I mean, it could have been plowed, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the list that was up there, I think, was from, I don't know, I just Googled it because the person was asking me, and so I just went to the website and typed it in, and that was, I think, the first one that populated, so I'm like, well, here it is right here.
And I think Mark is on there, but it's not all Mark.
Correct, yeah, it's marked north of Hughes Road, which is into and out of the neighborhood,
Yeah.
which is what classified that one as a tier 2.
But I think what was, the old one just didn't elaborate maybe as much as the one that you
Probably not, and
sent.
that's why
And
we
so-
wanted to create a
Let me-
detailed list.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that people knew
Yeah.
kind of what to expect instead of just guessing and hoping and wondering.
So the diamond maps that Wes was talking about, that's what we use for like all of our water meters, valves, our lead and copper survey. We have a view-only account on there, so if any of you want access to that view-only account, you're welcome to it. Just to kind of look around and stuff, you know, see what we've got. There's work orders, there's all sorts of stuff.
There's zoning, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's unlimited basically. We can just put everything on there. And one of the things that is on there is roads, tiers 1, 2, and 3, and then there's also do not plow roads, which are like MoDOT controlled or county controlled or private roads, 'cause there are a bunch of those scattered throughout town. And like Wes was saying, we can put that map on there to show everybody, hey, this is color coded, this road is this road is this.
I think that
So
would
it
be a
does
good idea.
eliminate that
Yeah.
confusion.
Yeah, that's
you know.
our next step. for me.
So
Yeah.
ideally, our only do not plow roads would be those that MoDOT or
Yeah.
someone else has.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because like I said,
Taken.
we hit everything. I mean, I live in Springfield, I'm in West Springfield, and
Oh,
my road
I
is the
drove
only
through it
one.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of my neighborhood has not been touched, it's just because mine is essentially a tier 2 in and out, like they haven't touched anything. And every road throughout town has at least been hit twice as of right now, so.
Yeah, I was at a couple schools today that I was driving on solid sheets.
Yeah, yeah.
Compacted hard ice. that
Yeah,
you're
it's-
like, oh Lord. I
It's
gotta
hard to
pull
pull
out.
up, I mean, once you get to that point, so.
Yeah. So, no, I did, like I said, not everything can get cleaned.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I have.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Trevor.
Yeah.
Is there any new
Good
business?
job, Trevor.
Thanks.
New business.
No new business? Any unfinished business?
I don't want to be too easy on the Mayor Pro Tem. But no, I don't have any.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Okay, so you're up to bat.
Business evaluation.
Recess over session.
I will make a motion that we recess the open session and open the closed session pursuant to RSMO section 610.021 subsection 1 subsection, for legal and subsection 3 personnel.
Second.
Holly, we wrote that this can be at 9 a.m. Do you follow that?
No, that is not.
That is not
Okay,
correct.
that is incorrect. I have a first, I have a second. Alder Billiard,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder Keen,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster,
Yes.
Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson. Thank you.
Recording is on.
Make a motion that we close or adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I couldn't come up with the right wording, sorry guys.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.